I'm Danica Lore, and this is Lit Happens, your celebration of the literary arts here in Saskatchewan. Today I'm very pleased to welcome Mike Sorowka. Mike is the author of Son of Ukrainian Pioneers. He's a retired taxi driver. He spent 40 years driving, the longest serving cab driver in Saskatoon. And he told me that sometimes he did writing while waiting for fares. So Mike, tell me a little bit about what started you on this journey to be a writer.
Well, it was actually, I was really collecting from my parents' history. I was doing a genealogy. And what happened, a book was published on Canadian Catholic Ukrainian churches. And when I went to the Kozma store to buy the book, and I read on Ukrainian, on the Ukrainian Ureno church, I couldn't find anything on my parents, and they were devoted Catholics and did everything for that church. So I asked my parents, I said, why are we blacklisted? And they didn't know. So that's, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So that's why I decided to write the book and to honor them, was basically what it was.
And so you told me that you found out why they were blacklisted. And so do you want to tell me a little bit about that story?
Yeah, so actually later on I found out why they were blacklisted. My father's sister was married to the local blacksmith, and he was a very good blacksmith. And he was commissioned to build a cross for the top of the church, by which my dad helped build, of course. And he was of Orthodox faith, and so he put on an Orthodox cross on the Catholic Church. And it's probably the only Catholic church in Saskatchewan that has an Orthodox cross, or probably in Canada. So, and that's why they blackmailed our whole family.
So you had...
Well, not blackmailed,
blacklisted.
Sorry.
No, words are funny things, and sometimes they get a little tangled up.
Yes.
So this book, it's memories of that just span a very long period of time.
Yeah, my whole life, I really growing up and the hard times, and like I grew up in the Sorowka Valley, and it was just east of the Sunnyside Beach, and all us kids were born on the farms, and I was the youngest of the four. And it was about 7 miles south on the low road from Kreider. So all the little chores you had to do, and, walking to school, getting attacked by a coyote, chased home by a coyote. It was a weird, but it was a beautiful place to live. I loved it in summer, and I loved the lake because I used to go swimming. If I went for cows, good luck, I wouldn't be back till 10 o'clock. I would be swimming with the dogs in the lake. So it was just a wonderful way of growing up.
And you tell the stories, but you've really painted a lovely picture of the setting of the place.
It was beautiful.
You can tell how much you were taken by this, being lucky enough to grow up in a rural setting that was so.
It was just the beauty of it. Yeah, I was just, as I say, and I always said I had the biggest swimming pool, the lake.
And you said you had a little story about ducks. Can you tell me a little bit about the ducks?
Our yard used to get flooded every spring. And of course, there was artesian well, would get flooded. So I come up with the idea to drain the lake. There was a little rise, and I told my dad, I said, let's take the blade plow and dig a trench, but we dug the trench too deep, and it drained the whole lake. And we had about 50 ducks. So my mom, she said, and those ducks were like my pets, because I had they were all white, but I had names for them, and they kind of knew. So my mom says, well, it was your fault that you drained the lake. You find a solution for this. So I thought, well, I was going across field to school, and there was 2 lakes that never dried up. So one day I decided, I called them Oshi, which meant everyone. And I started walking towards school, and one by one they followed me and to the lake. And it was like about it was on a quarter mile away. And they went over the hill and down into the lake, and they went swimming. And they were just happier than ducks. And so then I went to school, and on the way back, I thought, oh boy, the coyotes will get him for sure, because we had lots of coyotes out there. And came to the lake, and I hollered at them, and they were just one after the other. They were all baiting there and having a good time. And they just followed me back up the hill and then down into our valley. And ducks never walked together. They all walked in a row. So 50 ducks made a long line. So it was just like I was a piper for them. And then I, of course, get home and then I would feed them and stuff. But then, unfortunately, this was going on for all fall, but hunting season opened up. And so that one morning, one afternoon, I'm coming from school and I look at the lake, no ducks. And I thought, oh, the coyotes got me. My mother was right. She warned me. She says, the coyotes will get her. So I thought I might as well go home and face the music. I get home, Mom's crying. And she says, you know what? She says, somebody shot all those ducks. See, the hunter came and it was in, the lakes were in our, far in the land. You couldn't even see them from the road. And yet, if he knew that they were tame ducks or not, but he came and he paid Mom something for the ducks. I never asked her what he paid her. And so from then on, we never raised ducks. She decided to raise turkeys. Now, that was another story, which got a whole bunch of turkeys. And boy, they started dying off, and we had to buy a brooder, and I think it was close to 500 turkeys that we got. So they started dying out, and then they didn't know why they're dying. So Mom says, well, it's probably they came on the train and they got a cold, eh? So we were losing, 10, 15, 20 turkeys a day. So then I said, well, I'll watch. So I sat down there. I love to read, so I started reading. And not too long reading, and here the feeder tank for the fuel was leaking. The line was leaking, and they were drinking the diesel, and that's what was killing him. So then I shut it all off and reconnected. Then we didn't lose any more turkeys. So, but the turkeys weren't a very good proposition because they ate all the crop from around the house, like about 5 to 7 acres. My dad was not a very happy camper.
Well, it sounds like you had a very interesting and entertaining childhood.
There was always something going on.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of stories, Mike, and we are out of time. When we have a lot of stories, but we know that your book is for sale and people can find it.
Yeah.
Do you want to just tell us a few of the places? Just give me 2 or 3 places where people can pick
Well,
up your book.
there's 2 Ukrainian stores in town. One is up called Slovenka's up in 8th Street. It's just past Arlington. And the other one is Smock is on 34th and Ottawa. And the Western Development Museum is selling them also. And at Museum Hours. And our church, St. George's Cathedral, has them in the vestibule. And our museum is selling them also, the Museum Ukraine, and it's only open on Sundays 11:30 to 4:30, so it's not open very long.
Well, people can find your book. Yes.
And if you want, who else is there here? Oh yeah, and if you want more than one book, because most of these are just carrying one book. The museum is carrying 6, I guess. But if you want more than one book, it's best to phone me at my home. I have an answering machine. And it's at 1-306-244-8858.
Very good.
That's.
I'm Danica Lore. This has been Lit Happens. Thank you for watching. You can find other episodes by searching on YouTube for Shaw TV Saskatoon. You can contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and if you'd like to talk about your own writing project, you can email me at danicalore@gmail.com.